When I first met Emily, I thought I had found someone who truly understood me. She was confident, charming, and always seemed to have everything under control. I admired that about her. We'd been dating for almost a year, and although we had our ups and downs, I believed we had something real. That belief shattered one ordinary evening when I overheard a conversation that changed everything. It was a quiet Friday night, and Emily was sitting in the living room, chatting on the phone with her sister, Claire. I was in the kitchen cleaning up after dinner, half listening while I loaded the dishwasher. Her tone was playful, but there was something in her voice, an edge I hadn't heard before. At first, it was just normal talk about work and family. Then suddenly I heard Emily say, "Oh, don't worry. I'm teaching him. Soon he'll do whatever I say." She laughed right after, but not the warm, cheerful laugh I knew. It was cold, almost proud. My heart sank. I froze where I was standing, unsure if I'd heard right. I told myself I was overreacting. Maybe she was joking, maybe I misunderstood. But as the conversation went on, she said more things that made my stomach twist. "You just have to train them slowly," she continued. "Make them think it's their idea." He's finally starting to listen. I stood there, gripping the edge of the counter, feeling like the ground beneath me had disappeared. After she hung up, I acted normal. I didn't want to jump to conclusions, but I couldn't stop replaying her words in my head. Teaching him. Train them slowly. Was I really just some project to her? Someone she could mold? Over the next few days, I began noticing things I'd ignored before, the subtle ways she manipulated situations to go her way. Whenever we disagreed, she'd twist my words or guilt-trip me until I apologized, even when I hadn't done anything wrong. If I made plans with friends, she'd make me feel bad for not spending enough time with her. It all suddenly made sense. I wasn't paranoid. She'd been conditioning me to follow her lead. One evening, I decided to test something. I mentioned I might take a solo trip to visit my brother. Immediately, Emily's smile faded. She crossed her arms and said, "Oh, really? You didn't think to ask me first?" Her tone wasn't angry, it was disappointed, like a teacher scolding a student. I realized that's exactly how she saw me, not as a partner, but as someone she needed to control. That night, I couldn't sleep. My mind kept spinning, wondering how long this had been going on. Had everything between us been real, or was it all just her way of shaping me into someone easier to manage? The next morning, I confronted her calmly. I told her what I heard on the phone. Her reaction confirmed everything. She froze for a moment, then gave a small, nervous laugh. "Oh, come on," she said. "You're taking that way too seriously. I was just joking with Claire." But her eyes flickered, just for a second, and I saw guilt there. "Were you?" I asked quietly. "Because it doesn't feel like a joke when you keep trying to control everything I do." Her expression changed instantly. She went from defensive to offended. "I'm only trying to help you be better," she said. "You don't see it now, but you need guidance. You're too trusting, too soft." Hearing her say that out loud broke something inside me. She didn't even deny it anymore. She believed she had the right to teach me how to live my own life. I packed a small bag that day and told her I needed space. She didn't argue. She just stood there, arms crossed, staring at me with that same calculating look. As I closed the door behind me, I felt both terrified and free. For the first time, I was making a choice without her influence. Over the next few weeks, she texted and called, claiming she missed me, that she was only joking, that I was overthinking everything. But I didn't go back. I realized how much of myself I had lost trying to please her, how often I'd silenced my own thoughts just to avoid conflict. It took time, but I started to feel like myself again. Months later, Claire reached out unexpectedly. She apologized, saying she hadn't realized how serious Emily was about training me until that phone call. Apparently, Emily had bragged to her about how easily she could get me to agree with her. Hearing that made me sick, but it also gave me closure. I finally knew the truth. I hadn't imagined it. Looking back now, I see the warning signs I ignored. Love shouldn't feel like obedience. Real partners lift each other up, not shape each other into something that fits their control. Walking away from Emily wasn't easy, but it was the best decision I ever made. Some lessons come from heartbreak, and this one taught me the value of my own freedom.